All right, and welcome. Here we are on this beautiful, gorgeous Monday, October the 9th. I hope that you're doing well today. Now, we're going to be talking and discussing and trending news. What is trending in the news today on this beautiful Monday? And I pray that you're doing well. I'm not sure what you did over the weekend. We had a great weekend at church, and church was full. We've had a lot of people sick over the last several weeks, and but a lot of people were able to get back, and still just had a good service, just had a good day at church, and I really enjoy being with the body of Christ. And a good Sunday school hour. We started a new Sunday school class for singles, and just had a good day. But today I want to talk about trending news. All of you are aware, and all of us have seen by now, the disgusting attacks that happened over the weekend there in Israel, as Hamas and these terrorist groups have come together and as they attacked Israel and came in and murdered and a lot of civilians. I believe I've read lots of different numbers, but I know there was 11. Excuse me, there was 11 Americans, and that was there, and that have been killed, and it is unbelievable at what's happening over there in Israel. I have seen where I also read where we sent a strong Navy fleet there, and to help to make sure that these other countries neighboring Israel, do not get involved or get engaged, and that if they do, that they will feel the force of the United States military. I listened to Joe Biden's speech on Sunday or Saturday actually, and it wasn't a very, in my opinion, it just wasn't a very strong speech. I'm thankful that he came out and said, we're going to stand, with Israel, and but it is imperative. I was looking for a little more, a stronger speech, stronger words, and just really let these Hamas organizations and these terrorist organizations have it. And then, of course, let's help Israel. Let's do all that we can, to make sure that no more of these lives in Israel are taken, and especially American lives. I read where Senator Booker was even there, and he's a Democrat, of course. There in the Senate, he and I, we don't believe probably much of anything on the same page. But I am thankful that he is safe and okay. I believe he's already made it back to these United States of America, and I'm thankful for that. I read where he had to get bunkered down into a bunker. I'm thankful that he is back here, and but I do pray. I've been praying for Israel and for the nation there, but I hope and I pray that America and our government will continue to send aid to Israel. If we can send billions and billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine, and Ukraine is not an ally, we absolutely must be sending as much aid as Israel needs. And so I stand firmly with Israel, and I am for whatever Israel needs from us. We need to send it as many bombs and missiles as they need. Now, I think that Israel has a pretty strong military, of course, and I'm not necessarily wanting to send, I don't want to send boots on the ground over to Israel, but I mean, if that is necessary later, and to help once Israel regains, back their area and territory, we, of course, you can use missiles and bombs and our airplanes and naval support, and so, but I would much rather do that, and we have the top. I mean, obviously, you all know this. We have the greatest military in the world and the greatest capabilities in the world. And so boots on the ground is a last resort. But I think that we can do the job that is needed through the air with our Air Force, and then, of course, with our Navy as far as missiles and things of that nature. And so I stand with Israel. We must pray for Israel and continue to lift them up. And then, of course, pray and put pressure on Congress to make sure that we do all that we can to support Israel. So I know that is trending today, and that is all over the news. I've been keeping up with it. I know you've been keeping up with it, but let's continue to pray and help Israel. Something else that's trending in the news today, all of us know, and we are all aware, that in 2024, there is a presidential election. And we already have several candidates in the Republican Party that is out campaigning. I know that a friend of mine up in Iowa had Ron DeSantis, Governor DeSantis, was at his church yesterday. I know that Vivek Ramaswamy. I know that Nikki Haley and all the other candidates. Of course, President Trump. That is who I am supporting, and I will support President Trump up until the day that he does not get the nominee. And then, of course, whoever gets the Republican nominee is who I will support as far as the presidential candidate for the Republican Party going into the general election come November 2024. And so, but until then, I'm going to support President Trump. But one thing that was trending in the news today, and I'm sure that many of you are aware or you have seen, is that Robert F. Kennedy, presidential candidate, and of course he was running on the Democrat ticket, but he announced that he is dropping his Democrat bid for president and re-entering the 2024 race for the White House as an independent. Now, I'm sure that many of us have different views whenever it comes to independent candidates. I personally do not like this. This is my opinion. I do not like the fact that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is running as an independent, because here's what I believe. I believe that the independent candidate is going to take away from the Republican candidate. I do not think that Robert Kennedy is going to affect, this is my opinion, of course. If any of you guys that watch this video, if you want to come on the channel and we debate this and go back and forth, I am all about that 100%. But I do not think that Robert Kennedy is going to take away from the Democrat presidential nomination for the Democrat Party. I don't believe that he will. If it's Joe Biden, I don't think Kennedy hurts Biden as much as Kennedy hurts Trump or Nikki Haley or Vivek Ramaswamy or DeSantis or Mike Pence. I think that Robert Kennedy hurts the Republican Party. And, but what Republicans need to understand is this, and what independents need to understand is, and especially those of you that are pro-life, and you stand for life and you stand for things that we believe in as Christians, it is important that we elect a strong Republican, to the White House come 2024. And Robert Kennedy switching over, to the independent ticket is going to hurt the Republican Party. It's going to hurt us if we have a bunch of Republicans coming out and supporting, Robert Kennedy. I'm not going to support Robert Kennedy, and he's not going to get my support at all. I'm going to support the Republican that is on the ticket, and I'm going to urge all of you to do the same. And so, Robert Kennedy's a good man. I know some people that they like Robert Kennedy, and Robert Kennedy's a good man. I've heard, good things about him. I know that he just was in Mississippi, and just a week or so ago, and I had many friends that went to the event. I've heard nothing but good things about him. And so, but regardless of all of that, I'm a Republican 100%, and we need to support the Republican on the ticket. And whenever it comes to independent candidates are not going to hurt the Democrat Party. Independent candidates are going to hurt the Republican Party. And so whenever, let's go back and talk about the last was Ross Perot. Remember Ross Perot ran as an independent, and we had Bill Clinton running against Bush, and Bill Clinton became the president of the United States of America. Ross Perot gave us 8 years of Bill Clinton. And that is exactly what Kennedy is going to do. Kennedy is not going to be the next president of the United States of America. There is no way that he wins come 2024 November. He's not going to win. Robert Kennedy is going to take votes away from the Republican. That is where he is going to get his votes, because here's what's going to happen. Your independents, obviously, unless they have a really popular candidate, a lot of your independents are going to pick either Republican or Democrat. Well, because of who Kennedy is, he is a very popular candidate, obviously, and he is going to pick up those independent votes. Those independents generally lean one or two ways, either Republican or Democrat, or they lean toward the Libertarian Party. The Republican Party needs the independent vote in order to win. In order to win the White House, we need to get as much of those independent votes as we can possibly get. Kennedy is going to cause the independent vote to stay home. So that's going to hurt us. Number two, the Democrat parties, the voters in the Democrat Party, they are not going to come out and vote independent. They are going to vote Democrat. And as you all know, all of us are aware, when you look at the numbers over the last several elections, there are more Democrat voters than there are Republican voters. So we need the independent vote to win as far as Republicans are concerned when you look at the White House bid. But then whenever you look at the Democrat Party, they are not going to come over and vote independent, at least in my opinion. Now, I know that it is Joe Biden. And so people will say, well, the Democrats aren't going to vote for Joe Biden. Listen to me very carefully. At the end of the day, when it comes to November, the Democrat Party is going to vote for their Democrat candidate. Now, here's about Republicans. Republicans, that's not the case. Republicans, they could switch over and vote for Kennedy. So you have a lot of people who don't like Trump, and so they cannot stand Trump. A lot of these Republicans are going to come out and vote independent. The Democrat Party, some of those people in the Democrat Party, and it's probably the same fraction when you look at the percentages. The same fraction of Democrats that don't like Joe Biden are the same fraction of Republicans that don't like Donald Trump. And so whenever you look at that fraction there, even though that fraction, that percentage of Democrats don't like Joe Biden, they are still going to vote for Joe Biden. They are not going to switch over and vote for Robert Kennedy. That is not happening. The Republican Party, though, those fraction, because we are more independent thinkers, we are conservative, and we don't like people telling us who we have to vote for or who we should vote for. And I'm not here telling you who you should or shouldn't vote for, but what I'm saying is this, that fraction, that percentage of Republican voters that don't like Donald Trump, they'll come out and vote for Robert Kennedy. That's not going to give Robert Kennedy enough votes to win, obviously. That might bump his percentage up a point or two, just like Ross Perot had whenever he ran against, Bush and Clinton. The same thing's going to happen. At the end of the day, Robert Kennedy runs as an independent. A lot of people are excited. Hoorah, we have Robert Kennedy running as an independent. He hurts the Republican base. Therefore, he's going to hurt Donald Trump. Joe Biden has another 4 years. That is my opinion. That is what I think is going to happen. Unless, now here's my other thought process, unless Robert Kennedy is running as an independent to try to pick up and become the vice president for the Republican nominee. Now, if that's Robert Kennedy's playing card, I could see where he's trying that angle of becoming the Republican, nominee for whoever gets the nominee from the Republican Party. Maybe Kennedy is banking on them picking him up for the vice president. Now, I wouldn't even be for that necessarily, because from what I've read from Robert Kennedy, and now if you watch this, and if I'm not, for everything that I've read, Robert Kennedy is not pro-life like I'm pro-life. He is not pro-life like we are pro-life in the Republican Party. And if I'm wrong on that, you can correct me, obviously, and send me a message. I would love to hear differently. But everything that I've read up to this point, he is, he is pro-choice. And so, but at the end of the day, he's going to hurt the Republican nominee. That's just my opinion. And so obviously everyone knows who Kennedy is. Everybody knows his family. And so he said today in Philadelphia, "I'm here to declare myself an independent candidate for president of the United States." And he says, "I'm here to join you in making a new declaration of independence for our entire nation." And so he's criticized the economy and the direction of the American political system, and saying that his campaign will declare independence from corporations, Wall Street, technology, and pharmaceutical companies, military contractors, and the mercenary media. He also called the traditional two-party system in the United States rigged for voters. Now, and let me go back. I agree with I don't necessarily care for the two-party system either. And someone would say, well, if you don't care for it, then why do we just keep voting the same way over and over again? And I'm going to tell you why I do. When you look at independent, let me give you an example. We have an independent. He was a Democrat, a judge. He's a good man here in Harrison County where I live. He's running for circuit clerk in Harrison County. He's been a judge for 20-plus years. I've heard nothing but good about the man. He was a Democrat for 20-plus years. He knows that he can't win as a Democrat, and so he's running as an independent to try to draw the Democrat votes and the Republican votes. Some people that I've talked to over the last 3 or 4 months concerning this issue, some people love it. Some people think it's great. Some people think that this guy is going to help tear down the walls between the two parties and he is going to unite the people. I disagree 100%. What's going to happen is he's going to win. I don't think he's going to win, but if he was to win, he's just going to bring the Democrat ideas into that office. That's what's going to happen. A Democrat going independent is going to bring the Democrat policies and the Democrat ideology over into the independent party, if you want to call it a party. The Republican, if he switches over to independent, I believe that the Republican will bring more Republican to the independent than the Democrat is going to come over to the independent and bring all Democrat over. And so that is why I'm just going to remain right where I'm at, steadfast, unmovable, right dead smack in the middle of the Republican Party, because the independent candidates are going to hurt the Republican, and the independent party is just going to make the Democrat Party stronger. Just go look at the Democrat or the independents in the Senate, and then come back and talk to me. That's what I believe, and I'm not going to. I mean, obviously, you could come on and we could talk and we could debate this issue and debate this subject, and you might can change my mind. But as of right now, today, that is what I believe. Now, you're not going to change me from being a Republican, and I'm going to stick right where I'm at. But that the independent candidates will hurt the Republican Party. The independent candidates are not going to hurt the Democrat Party. They're going to hurt us. So anyway, that is trending, and today in the news, and RFK drops the Democrat label. He's running as an independent, and it's one or two reasons why. One, it's either one to hurt the Republican Party, or two, it's to become the vice president nominee for the Republican Party. And I think that would hurt the Republican candidate if they were to pick Kennedy. That's just my take. So anyway, the other thing that's trending today that's still talking is McCarthy. You read so much, and you don't know what is and what isn't. You know, someone said, well, Kevin McCarthy's not going to run again for Speaker. Then I read today that Kevin McCarthy is going to run again for Speaker. Obviously, Kevin McCarthy does not have my support for Speaker. I would love to see someone like Jim Jordan and become Speaker. As I talked about last week on the channel, you know, you had a lot of people pushing for Trump. I don't want Trump to be Speaker. I want Trump to be the Republican nominee for President 2024, and I want Trump to be the next president come 2025 of January. I want to see Trump swear in as president. If he's Speaker, he's not going to be able to run a good, strong presidential campaign and be Speaker at the same time. The Speaker has a lot more responsibilities than just a normal representative have. A normal representative already has a ton of responsibilities. The Speaker has double the responsibilities that a normal representative has, and so there's no way that Trump can be Speaker of the House and run a strong campaign for president. So that's why I am pulling for Jim Jordan. I am urging everyone in the House to vote for Jim Jordan. I want to encourage you to encourage your House of Representatives to vote for Jim Jordan. And so you have that fight going on, and now Kevin McCarthy is trying to use this Israel dilemma. You know, we need to get back and join forces. Yeah, let's do it under Jim Jordan. And so let's move on, and let's elect a strong conservative or a strong man there to the Speaker and to become the next Speaker of the House. And I'm pulling for Jim Jordan in that area. All right, let's see here. There's all kind of stuff going on, and whenever you look at the political world, and whenever you look at what's trending, those two things that we just talked about are some of the most trending things here in the United States of America. Now let's talk Mississippi for a moment, and we're going to talk a little Mississippi politics. There is a election coming up in November. It is a little under 4 weeks away. Today's October the 9th. The election is November the 7th. So, I mean, you do the math, we're under 4 weeks away. We have a Democrat candidate running for governor in Mississippi, and we have a strong Republican candidate running for governor. He's our governor now, Governor Tate Reeves. I support Governor Tate Reeves for many reasons. One reason is he is the Republican nominee, so that's number one. Number two, the governor is pro-life. He stands strong for pro-life, and he was the lieutenant governor whenever Mississippi passed the bill that went before the Supreme Court that overturned Roe versus Wade. He is a strong pro-life. He's always been pro-life, and he's a strong pro-life governor, and I appreciate that. He's for lowering taxes, and I appreciate that. He is wanting to get rid of the state income tax, and I pray that in this next session we can begin to move forward whenever it comes to getting rid of more of the state income tax. I would like to see it totally eliminated over the course of the next 4 years. And it can be. If it is done properly and if it is done correctly, it can be done away with. And so I am praying that we can get rid of the state income tax. If Brendan Presley becomes the next governor of Mississippi, you could hang it up whenever it comes, to the state income tax, or you can hang it up. Of course, he's going to make a bunch of promises now, but we all know that Democrats are not going to be lowering taxes. You're going to see Mississippi, if we elect Brendan Presley, you're going to see Mississippi in 2024. You're going to see Mississippi, the leadership, some of the leaders, at least from the governor's mansion, you're going to see them pulling and rooting for Joe Biden against Trump. That's another reason why I am for Governor Tate Reeves. It is because whenever it comes to the 2024 election for president, you'll have a strong governor that is pulling for the Republican nominee, whether it's Trump, whoever it is, he'll be pulling for the Republican nominee. And so I do not want anyone in Jackson in the governor's mansion pulling for Joe Biden. But if we elect Brandon Presley, that's exactly what you're going to have. The Democrat Party is not pro-life. I don't care what they tell you. I don't care what some of these candidates, if you're pro-life, then why in the name of heaven are you running as a Democrat? I don't understand that at all. If you are pro-life, then why are you running on a platform that is for murdering children? I don't understand that whatsoever. But that's what you're going to have. If you are for lowering taxes, then why are you running on a platform that raises taxes every single chance that they get? If you are for children not getting this transgender surgery behind parents' back and transgender and medicines to help them become a transgender, if you're opposed to that, then why are you running on a platform that is for all of that? So don't give me this. I'm a strong pro-life Democrat. Never met one. I'm not falling for that garbage. And so I believe that at the end of the day, we must stand on the principles that we believe in. And I am always, when it comes to election time, I'm going to go with the strongest Republican candidate that is closer to my values. Let me give you an example. We had a lieutenant governor race, and we had the election back in August. Senator Chris McDaniel, who is my friend, he is senator there in Laurel, Mississippi. He was running for lieutenant governor. He had my full 100% support. I drove my car. I spent lots of my own money in that race trying to help him become the next lieutenant governor, or at least the Republican nominee to be on the ticket in November for the lieutenant governor. We did not win. We lost. Unfortunately, we got beat. I am still a Republican, so I am going to vote Republican when it comes to the November election. And so that's important. My Uncle Wayne, he's actually a second cousin, but we grew up calling him Uncle, and Wayne Carr. He ran on the Republican ticket for the PSC, and he won. He won. And he beat Dane Maxwell. Now, Wayne is the only one on the ticket in November. He doesn't have a Democrat running against him. And I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but Wayne Carr won. He obviously had my full support all the way through the campaign. He still has my full support today. But if Dane Maxwell would have beat Wayne Carr, who was my kin, come November, I would have voted for Dane Maxwell in November. Now, there's no way that I would vote for anyone against my family, but if my family member was to lose come November, I'm going to vote for the Republican that's on the ticket. That is what I'm going to do every single time. As long as that Republican's pro-life and adheres to the platform that we believe in. As long as they do that, I am fine, and I'm going to vote for them. So we have to be very careful whenever I try to be very careful of things that I say, especially on here. Now, I've learned a lot, over the last several years doing these videos and talking politics and talking church and things of that nature. So I've learned a lot, and I still have a lot to learn. But at the end of the day, I'm a Christian, number one. Number one, I'm a Christian. And, of course, Wednesday we're going to make a video, and we're going to have a devotion on Wednesday on the channel. Friday we're going to talk sports. And then over the weekend we'll probably have a video talking about something else. And the next Monday we'll be right back in the political world. That's how I like to do my videos. So I'm a Christian first. Number one, I'm a Christian. Number two, I'm an American. And number three, I'm a Republican. And whenever it comes to who I am, I'm a Republican, and I'm going to vote Republican. And I urge you to do the same. I know some of you are going to be tempted. I know some of you are going to be tempted to go with Kennedy whenever it comes to him now being an independent for 2024. Well, I didn't change. I'm still voting a Republican. And so I want to urge you to do the same. In Harrison County, we have a Democrat that switched independent. I'm voting for Justin Wetzel. He's a Republican on the ticket. That's what I'm standing for. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Thank you guys for watching. I went about 10 minutes longer than what I anticipated, but thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. I would greatly appreciate it. We've grown, just in the last 7 days, we've grown 170 subscribers. That is great and wonderful. We had a drawing for a to all our new subscribers. We had a drawing, and the winner was Darlinda. I got to get in touch with her and let her know. And but I'll get her. She won $100. I'm going to do another giveaway and soon, and I'll be putting out more information about that as well. But thank you guys for tuning in today. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please share it and share it with a family member, and share it on your social media platforms. Send it to a family member, and then of course, always, would you please subscribe? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. God bless you. God bless Israel, and God bless the great United States of America.